refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. If the vaccination
Where is that in the Constitution?
If the vaccination is designed to prevent the spreading disease. If the vaccination is only to prevent a disease that you will get, for example, if there's a disease that will kill you, you have the right to refuse that, but you have no right to refuse to be vaccinated against a contagious disease. Public health, the police power of the Constitution, gives the state the power to compel that, and there are cases in the United States Supreme Court. Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread a disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated? Meaning, if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. If the vaccination
Where is that in the Constitution?
If the vaccination is designed to prevent the spreading disease. If the vaccination is only to prevent a disease that you will get, for example, if there's a disease that will kill you, you have the right to refuse that, but you have no right to refuse to be vaccinated against a contagious disease. Public health, the police power of the Constitution, gives the state the power to compel that, and there are cases in the United States Supreme Court.
All
right, that was Alan Dershowitz, nationally and I guess internationally known lawyer, interviewed by Jason Goodman on his channel from New York City. I've mentioned him quite a bit in previous videos, and that's what he has to say. I think he's a trial lawyer, again, high-profile lawyer.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome you to this virtual Global Vaccine Summit and what I hope will be a real moment when the world comes together, uniting humanity in the fight against disease. That is our mission today. To defeat coronavirus, we must focus our collective ingenuity on the search for a vaccine and ensure that countries, pharmaceutical companies and international partners like the World Health Organization cooperate on a scale beyond anything we've seen before. We must use the collective purchasing power of Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, to make that future vaccine affordable and available to all who need it. And if we are to make this the beginning of a new era of global health collaboration, we must also replenish the funding for the vaccines we already have, strengthening routine immunization against preventable diseases in the poorest countries. It's an amazing fact that every year Gavi and its partners help immunize around half of all newborn children, protecting more than 760 million infants in the last 2 decades, and saving over 13 million lives. For the next 5 years, we now need at least $7.4 billion to protect another 300 million children and save up to 8 million lives. So, just as the UK is the single biggest donor to the international effort to find a coronavirus vaccine, we will remain the world's leading donor to Gavi, contributing £1.65 billion over the next 5 years. I urge you to join us to fortify this life-saving alliance and inaugurate a new era of global health cooperation, which I believe is now the most essential shared endeavour of our lifetimes. Thank you.
That was Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the UK, of Gavi, that's the name of the organization, which stands for Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. And this was from the Global Vaccine Summit this year, 2020, in London, England, held 4th of June.
Now, Jen, I have the great pleasure of introducing someone whom I'm sure everybody has been waiting and saying, where is he? Because he's known as the father of Gavi. He was there at the founding. And it's no other than the one and only Bill Gates, co-chair of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Hello. I want to thank the United Kingdom and Prime Minister Boris Johnson for hosting this summit and for their generosity. They've been one of the world's leading contributors to global health and development, including immunization programs, and have supported Gavi generously from the beginning. I think it's safe to say this is not the kind of replenishment event we envisioned just early this year. It's more remote, but it's also more important. We're meeting at a unique time in history. Never have more people been more aware of the importance of vaccines. As we race to develop a COVID-19 vaccine, we must also renew our commitment to delivering every life-saving vaccine there is to every child on Earth. That is the work that Gavi and Alliance partners have been doing for 20 years. And when we come together as a global community to support Gavi replenishment, we're making sure that it can continue to do these things until no child dies from a vaccine-preventable disease. Since its inception, Gavi has helped vaccinate more than 750 million children. It's incentivized researchers to develop vaccines for neglected diseases. It's made new vaccines widely available many years before they would have been available without Gavi. And now it's stepping up and saying it's willing to deliver a COVID-19 vaccine as soon as one is available to end the pandemic as soon as possible. If we didn't already have Gavi, we would have to create it just to solve this crisis. Gavi will also stay focused on the core work while learning how to address COVID-19. It can't let one task slip while it concentrates on the other, because lives and children's futures are at stake in both cases. Our foundation is proud to have been a member of the Gavi Alliance from the beginning. It's the largest single investment we make and one of the best we have ever made. We appreciate the incredible work of Gavi now more than ever. Today, our foundation is pledging $1.6 billion to help Gavi continue its amazing work for the next 5 years. In addition, the foundation is proud to support the new COVID-19 vaccine advanced market commitment with a $100 million contribution to help make sure that when a COVID-19 vaccine is discovered, everyone who needs it can have access, starting with healthcare workers and other high-risk populations. I hope others will consider similar commitments in the coming weeks, including at the upcoming Global Goal Unite for Our Future event on June 27th. To all those who pledged, thank you for your generosity. Thank you for making sure Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, has what it needs and that billions of people can get the great health and opportunities they deserve.
Thank you, Mr. Gates, for joining us at this critical time and for your very generous pledge, which brings us to the end of our event, almost. I'm sure.
Okay, hold on a second, please. All right, this continued.
That I'm not the only one who's very keen to find out if we have reached the goal today. And joining me now to give his keynote address, we're going to return to London, where the Right Honourable Boris Johnson, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, has the final numbers. Prime Minister, over to you.
Well, I do indeed, and thank you very much, everybody. As we bring this summit to a conclusion, let me just thank you all for your fantastic generosity and your contributions today. Together, we have replenished this alliance, and here comes the number that you've been waiting for. We have secured a fantastic. I get the scoop. I'm able to reveal it. I'm proud to say we have secured a fantastic $8.8 billion for Gavi's vital work over the next 5 years. So take a bow, everybody. Thank you very, very much. I want to say a particular thanks, obviously, to you, to Bill, and to Melinda Gates for your generosity, your philanthropy yet again, your continued leadership in humanity's battle against disease. Our ancestors had to live with the unavoidable reality that killer pathogens could at any time strike down their children, imposing an incalculable burden of sorrow. But today, thanks to the ingenuity of Edward Jenner, a British doctor originally from Gloucestershire, who pioneered the world's first vaccine, the simple act of inoculating our children can save lives many times over.
All right, I'm going to end it there. It's too long. I'll go to the next one. This is him speaking also.
Science, a whole movement called the anti-vaxxers, who refuse to acknowledge the evidence that vaccinations have eradicated smallpox and who, by their prejudices, are actually endangering the very children they want to protect. And I totally reject this anti-scientific pessimism. I'm profoundly optimistic about the ability of new technology to serve as a liberator and to remake the world wondrously and benignly. Indeed, in countless respects, technology is already doing just that. Nanotechnology, I mentioned earlier, revolutionizing medicine by designing robots a fraction of the size of a red blood cell, capable of swimming through our bodies, dispensing medicine and attacking malignant cells like some Star Wars armada. Neural interface technology is producing a new generation of cochlear implants. I think of new tools that we acquired, but over which we, the human race, had the advantage, which we controlled. And that is not necessarily the case in the digital age. You may keep your secrets from your friends, from your parents, your children, your doctor, even your personal trainer. But it takes real effort to conceal your thoughts from Google. And if that is true today, in future, there may be nowhere to hide. Smart cities will pullulate with sensors, all joined together by the Internet of Things. Bollards communing invisibly with lampposts. But this technology could also be used to keep every citizen under round-the-clock surveillance. A future Alexa will pretend to take orders, but this Alexa will be watching you.
Public.
All right, that was George Orwell, 1984. No. Sorry, I got confused there. So this was Voice TV Nigeria that I got some of these videos from. And this is Global Vaccine Summit 2020. This is Trump. I think I played this last night, but it's short again. I'll play it again.
Gavi operates with great transparency, and Boris Johnson is somebody with tremendous respect for you and everything you do. He called, he said, you think you could do something maybe around the Oval Office or right by the Oval Office? I said, why not? It happens to be right behind me. As the coronavirus has shown, there are no borders. It doesn't discriminate. It's mean, it's nasty, but we're going to all take care of it together. It's great to be partnering with you. We will work hard. We will work strong. Send my regards to Boris, and good luck. Let's get the answer.
And I might record this in another video. It's a prophecy update, the mark of the beast, and it deals with the issue of whether the vaccine is the same as the mark of the beast. And I think that's an important point that others are, trying to understand as it relates to the nearness of the rapture and the mark coming out and how this all ties in. And I'm going to play this again. This again is Jason Goodman interviewing Alan Dershowitz, the renowned, I guess it's Harvard professor, trial lawyer, because it really should be heard twice, if you could believe this. So this is what they're all up to, the eugenicist Bill Gates.
And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. If the vaccination
Where is that in the Constitution?
If the vaccination is designed to prevent the spreading disease. If the vaccination is only to prevent a disease that you will get, for example, if there's a disease that will kill you, you have the right to refuse that, but you have no right to refuse to be vaccinated against a contagious disease. Public health, the police power of the Constitution, gives the state the power to compel that, and there are cases in the United States Supreme Court. Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread a disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated, meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. If the vaccination
Where is that in the Constitution?
If the vaccination is designed to prevent the spreading disease. If the vaccination is only to prevent a disease that you will get, for example, if there's a disease that will kill you, you have the right to refuse that, but you have no right to refuse to be vaccinated against a contagious disease. Public health, the police power of the Constitution, gives the state the power to compel that, and there are cases in the United States Supreme Court.
So welcome to the New World Order and the beast system on the verge of coming to pass and the fulfillment of Bible prophecy. So once this vaccine comes out, and as I did a video, the last one, saying that by October, this is Trump and all the rest of them, they expect by October. And so this is how it will be enforced, no rights. And as I said, and as they said, the military will be used as a strong arm to enforce this. But I do not whatsoever believe that believers will be here for the mark of the beast and to be forced to be vaccinated. That's totally scriptural. That will occur during the 7-year tribulation period spoken of by Daniel, also referred to as Daniel's 70th week, or a week is consisting of 7 days, but it's referring to 7 years in the context that it was prophesied. Once the rapture occurs, whatever time lapse occurs between the unveiling of the Antichrist by signing a peace agreement for 7 years with Israel and then breaking it in the midst of the 7 years period in the halfway point of the tribulation. So once the believers are gone and the restrainer taken out of the way, then this will take place into the entire world, but not before this. Believers will not be here according to Scripture. And also when that happens, others will be forced to worship the beast and the image of the beast and to bow down before it, or they will suffer to be killed for their faith and beheaded, as the Bible says. That's it for this update, and as I had mentioned, I possibly might return to deal with this issue of whether the vaccine is the same thing as the mark of the beast, or if it's separate, or how this might come to pass in the very near future. God bless. Take care.